Good day, America. I'm Dr. Gerald Coy, and this is Solutions for Life. It's brought to you by the Share Foundation, a public, nonprofit charitable organization dedicated to natural health by helping people to become more aware of alternative healthcare services, including nutrition and a lot of other good things like that. Today, we are going to talk about men's health, something that men generally don't like to talk about. With me today is Mr. Vicente Servin. Welcome, and it's good to see you.
Good morning, Dr. Coy. It's a pleasure for me to be with you.
You know, I always think of, when we talk about health issues and things like this, most of my guests have generally been women. In fact, the chiropractor that came in was a woman. Wow. So, the only time I had a conversation about health from a man's perspective was when I had a coach on board.
Wow.
So, because as I've often said, women do make 80 to 90% of the health decisions. And we're here talking about men's health issues. And in largely in part because you're a man, I wanted to get another perspective, or not just have, your wife, as I'm sure your wife could, talk about your health issues.
Oh my gosh. You don't want to know.
Usually that's the case in most situations. I always kid about women make the decisions for their children, and then their teenagers, and then the biggest baby in the family, the one that's in the living room and saying, "I don't feel good." But men are stepping up more and more. You're involved in healthcare now, and I'd kind of like to know how that happened, that you, as a man, came into the healthcare field.
Well, the way I got involved in these issues was actually regardless to my wife's health. When I got to hear about this one product that was helping people to get their immune system up, and it's amazing what not only this can do for a woman, but what can do for us as well.
But look where it came from. It came from your wife.
Yes.
Yeah. Should I make a confession also?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I know a lot of the good advice, a lot of the information I have, even the reason why I became a doctor, all came about because of my mother. And I was, talking to someone about various issues, and they are the ones that give so much of the direction and plant the seeds. Many times they don't flourish for a long time. Those mothers that cringe on the sidelines of the football field or playing any sport. That's my baby out there getting the hell beat out of him.
Well, basically that's what we get it from.
Well, and that's one of the first things that comes about. Outside of the fact that men are, was it boys don't cry type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
They don't complain. They don't say anything. They just tough it out. And did you ever experience that in your youth?
Oh my goodness, you have no idea. With my father, we couldn't say it hurts.
Yeah, I understand.
We couldn't say I got a headache.
Oh no. Men don't get headaches, do they?
No, never. We run to the bathroom and cry it.
Oh dear.
But thankfully, lately, in the last years, I think all the guys we've been forced to be more open to healthy issues because we have no options.
And I maybe we're getting a little bit smarter.
I didn't want to get to that point, but yes, it is. It is actually.
Yeah, with the advice of and encouragement, and really it is the encouragement of our spouses, of our family, and everything else. Come on, let's you need to know more about this. And I know one of the pictures on there is it's kind of like helping us to realize that we are responsible for our health. It's mother's no longer going to take care of me. My wife isn't going to take care. I've got to take care of myself.
You're on your own.
You're on your own.
Yep.
In like you say, when you were young, you didn't have pain. I know, but also Yeah, I I remember one of my patients coming in, and she said she had a little girl, and how the little girl was playing nicely and everything and enjoying, and then she had a little boy. Says he's climbing the walls. I can't hold him down. He's continually in motion. And I says, yeah, that's a boy. Even even going to that aspect. Not that all boys are that way or all girls are that way. I know some little girls. I believe you have several children.
I have three girls and Vincent.
And Vincent.
And Vincent.
Was there any difference, or were all of them Veractic?
Totally,
Totally different.
totally different.
And when you watch Vincent, isn't he kind of almost like climbing the walls or
Oh
getting
my
into?
goodness.
And even as small children, it's kind of like I know we talk about a child will maybe get into things that they shouldn't be into. Like climb up to the cookie jar, fall off the counter, hit their head, whatever it might be, and they start crying and they run to mommy and mommy and says, "What's wrong?" Nothing, because they were doing something they shouldn't be doing. And boys do a lot of that. The amount of trees they fall out of.
Breaking a window.
Well, breaking the window. It's breaking their body that I'm more. Did you ever have an incident where? Example was we were at the beach. I was in my teens, and we were surfing, body surfing. I didn't know how to get on one of those silly boards.
Whoa.
But I was at the beach, and a wave hit me, and I did cartwheels, and my arm wasn't out there to do a cartwheel. It was my head and neck that hit the sand, and I heard my neck go crunch, and I'm rolled up on the beach, and I put my hand on my neck, and I'm saying, well, it doesn't hurt. And of course, I looked over to my mother. She didn't see it, so I just went back in the water. I mean, here's something that I really could have been seriously injured, but that's a little bit typical of being a boy, isn't it?
It is actually. We have the challenge in that manner because girls supposed to be more gentle and we supposed to be the tough personality in the family. So we have that challenge, and I think we grew up since babies with that challenge in mind, and that push us to the extreme ages of big danger. And not only that, but as you mentioned, you can get hurt in a big way, but you cannot mention it.
Yeah. And because you don't mention it, and because it's not discussed, you generally don't resolve it. And later on the show, as we talk about some of the results of old injuries, of some of the challenges that come about in time, because time is never on your side. Days go past. That what's going on in your life and what's happening in your life, you're going to pay a price for it. And if you don't address it, if you don't take care of it, no wonder we're the ones that are dropping off the charts sooner. What do men live about 5, 7, 8 years less than women?
Less than women.
So, hey guys, do you like those stats? If you don't, you better do something about it, and that means taking better care of yourself, for one.
Yes.
Did you play sports, or did you get into any kind of activity in sports?
I do kickboxing.
Oh, that's something that's great. Yeah. How are your ankles now?
They've been taken care of.
They've been taken care of. Yeah. Are they fused now?
Well, they are. Believe it or not, they are.
Yeah. Like any guy that's out there that has any kind of sporting connections, and like with my conversation with coaches, men, women also, but we like that involvement in sports. And as a doctor, I said, over the years, anything that has contact is trauma. And trauma creates injuries, and injuries manifest into future problems.
Big problems.
Big problems. And it's kind of like, we don't pay attention to that. Again, we don't discuss it. God forbid you should say to your coach, "I hurt myself. Get out there and play." This type of an attitude.
We're the macho guys.
Macho is it. So what about, when you got your license, have you ever had an auto accident?
Quite a few.
My father used to always says, "Would you get your foot out of the carburetor?" I had I had a tendency like to push a little bit heavy on that accelerator, and I paid the price for it. I think if parents really understood the teenage years, I think they wouldn't give a license to their kid until they were 30.
Totally agree.
Because it's one thing to learn as you go along. It's another thing to pay the price of serious accidents. And I didn't have serious accidents. But
Thank God.
I remember having accidents. As a teenager, the driver was another teenager, and he's making a left turn when he didn't have enough space, and we get hit, and doors fly open. There were no seat belts in those days. There was, your bodies thrown around. There was no headrests in those days. All these things that have really built up for safety to protect us, man.
Thank God for the airbags now.
Thank God for airbags. Thank goodness for all that the cushioning and playing football.
Yes.
But even that, we still seem to get around it and do silly things like kickboxing. But I didn't want to mention that. I was raised, with the Muhammad Ali syndrome of wow, to be a man, to go in there and beat someone up. And even now, what are some of the new sports they have now? Cage fighting.
Oh my gosh, the extreme fighters.
Extreme fighters. That's totally insane.
That's criminal.
Thank you. But yet, are we so different from the Romans and the gladiators, where people were being harmed, killed, maimed, slaughtered, and yet we get a thrill still out of watching people beat each other up?
Doctor, I think we're worse because now we do it with knowledge.
Yeah.
Because we have more experience and knowledge than they did back in those days.
We're going to come back and we're going to talk about man's issues and men's health. We'll be right back. The Share Foundation is the health division of the Coy Chiropractic Institute, a 501c3 509A2 public nonprofit organization dedicated to the growth and development of the natural health care services, in particular through the chiropractic profession, offering health services at the Share clinics in the greater Los Angeles area. Your donations can help in expanding these facilities across the nation, research programs, and public education, thus offering a solution to the many of the health challenges we face. Your donations are tax-deductible and can be sent through our website at www.sharefoundation.com. That's www.cherfoundation.com by clicking on the donation button. Thank you.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, two things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number One Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number one. There's only number one. There's only number one.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home. At AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.hrrealtors.com.
with a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos Español.
And we're back. I'm Dr. Gerald Coy, and this is Solutions for Life. With me today is Vicente Servin, who is a macho man involved in healthcare, because today we're talking about health, men's health. Yet most of what we talked about is what leads up to it, all the things that the bad advice, the bad training, the macho concept, you can't be injured, you can't be hurt. But now it's kind of like you get married and you take on a little bit different perspective of life, don't you?
Yes, totally.
You know, you mentioned you had 3 daughters and you have Joshua. Joshua is
My grandkid.
your grandson. Oh my! After 3 daughters, you had to go through one of the daughters to get your grandchild. To get your son, so to speak, huh?
There you go. Totally.
But you were mentioning during the break that how. And you give really example of the different perspective of the mother and the father in the sense of you were talking about Joshua's learning how to salsa dance.
Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, yesterday he was doing that show for grandma,
Well, of course.
but in the edge of the sofa
Oh dear.
and the arm holder on the sofa, and he's doing this all moves and grandma screams.
Showing off.
Yes, and grandma screams, "You're gonna fall!" And I never thought about what I said, and what I said was, "Let him do."
Isn't that a clear picture of the difference between how
How the
a
female,
mother,
yes,
the woman, and the male approach to what's
circumstances, yes,
It's kind of like let them play, let them do. They're going, but yet, like you also mentioned, I'm there. I'm there to help. I'm there to protect. I'm there to catch if necessary or whatever. But and this also gets into an aspect about you were talking about men, but the influence of women, where times women become maybe a little bit overprotective.
You know, I think as a man, I can tell you that woman is the most responsible part in a man's actions, because they overprotect, and that's not fair for us. We want to break that barrier they built for us. It seems like they try to hold us from doing things, and we like challenges. We all like challenges, but I think that's where the challenge comes more, approaching the men more than they do to a female,
Yeah.
because we've been pushed to that age.
I guess it's kind of like talking about two extremes. You talk about women holding you back, but I kind of view it as the fact that men left on their own are a little bit dangerous, if
Yes.
you ask me. And women in the comfort of their nest, which they are nesting people, this is their, are extreme in the other way.
Yes.
And, the man helps draw the woman into the real world to a large degree. And I don't mean to oversimplify, but also the woman helps draw the man back, and this comes in getting married, back to a moderate perspective, a little bit more responsible. The guy's out there partying and having a good time and doing too much, more than what he should, and not, taking care of himself. Where the woman says, now you've got more responsibility. Because the first thing we had on the screen was talking about, your health is your responsibility.
Yes.
Now, it's also the woman that, usually goes out and buys something for you to take. Whether it be vitamins, minerals, whatever it might be, or buys the food, and a lot of
Yes.
times. I guess with I was raised in a family where, though my mother worked, that was really unusual. Most mothers stayed home. They had the time to cook better meals, but with the necessity of finances, women have come up to the point where they're doing equal work, which hopefully the men are coming home and sharing in the equal responsibility of the home, cooking maybe some, or at least helping with the dishes, or helping take care of the kids. And
Yes.
will you check on the baby? Will you change the baby's diapers? Oh, what a horrible
I know.
thought. Would you check and see if I think the baby has a fever? Would you check? So you're really being drawn into that world of care, and maybe even in the shopping. But generally, it's women, at least from my history, that bought those foods or bought the nutrients or bought the supplements that came into the house to help the family. But now you're seeing men do more of this, don't you?
Yes. As a matter of fact, when I mention about my marriage, I always tell people how my wife.
Remember, she may be listening, by the way.
Well, believe me, she's listening.
Oh, dear.
So she told me very well.
See, women can even control, and they're miles and miles
Oh
away.
yes, she's in control all the time. But I think we have to come to the point that when I mentioned to people how we've been married for 31 years, how my wife basically made me, in a way, to basically accomplish what I am, because otherwise, without my wife, I don't think I will be the way I've been.
What is the old saying? Behind every great man is a greater woman.
No comments.
No comments. No.
But yeah, she's amazing. She actually, if you notice my own self, and if you see my wife's personality, is totally the opposite of what I am. But that's what makes us successful in a way, in health.
Strengths and weaknesses
Yes.
and balance and everything else comes about. If everything's on one side, you're out of balance, and
Basically, that's what it is, balance.
So, one of the things in your involvement in health and everything else is, and with the reason we wanted to have you on was to talk about some of the issues we've talked about, how we're raised and everything else. Mm-hmm. But you're involved in nutrition. How is it you got involved in nutrition in this particular aspect of healthcare?
Well, since I met my wife, I was a paramedic. That was one thing. I always liked to help people and healthy issues, but I never thought I would.
That's a little bit the extreme end of it, though, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I think I'm the one out of the whole family in my house and my parents' family that touched that age. And it's funny, but because once you get involved in something, you get involved forever, no matter what. And it's amazing what I've been doing through people, because the response, the way you can approach guys and girls as well, you find the way, and I think you experience the same thing, doctor. Guys don't open so easy.
No,
And-
we've been trained to keep the door shut.
And it's easier for me to talk to a woman about health, just like you mentioned in the beginning of
There.
the show.
Much more open.
Yes, but when I have to talk to a guy, I have to be more kind of private conversation, so
We were told not to talk about this.
they can actually open to the real matters and to the real issues that they're facing in their lives. And
Because haven't you also found that really men care as much
as
women?
much as women,
They just can't express it.
they just
Boys don't cry.
No, never do. But it's funny because once a man opens the door for information, it's amazing what they can do, because they can not only mark a difference in their families, but they can also mark a difference in themselves.
Well, in talking about, like we have mentioned that you're in nutrition, you find women are more apt to kind of like in private discuss a little bit of this, but once a man has determined that this is of value, he speaks up.
Yes.
He goes in the family and says, I think you need to be doing this, where the woman maybe say, well, it'd be nice if you considered maybe doing this.
Yes.
You find
Yes.
that, and this is the balance of it. The women have that knowledge and that compassion, that desire, which also men have. But boy, it's kind of like you open up a man into that area, and it's kind of like they're much more aggressive.
Aggressive is the word.
Good old hormones kicking in there, huh?
Yes.
So you've been involved. How long have you been involved in healthcare like that? You mentioned paramedic, but as far as in the nutritional area,
As far as the nutrition area, I've been involved 2 years and a half. And
was there an incident or something that brought this about, or reason why?
actually, I didn't plan to.
That sounds like a man.
Exactly. I didn't plan that, but we had an issue with my wife. She got this deficiency in the immune system, and she was going through. She was basically getting me a big bills every time on.
Oh yeah, we have another picture coming up of that of a man carrying a wheelbarrow of money, and I put that on. I put that online when it comes up. You'll see it in the next session. But yes, well, we can relate to that, especially if we're the primary breadwinner, not that we're
Yes.
sole, but the primary breadwinner. Finances becomes a big concern.
I think the lowest bill we got was close to 2,000.
Oh my goodness!
That was the lowest, and we
Insurance?
no, because
Ouch.
exactly, because when you're self-employed, you basically
You're struggling to meet you got to buy
Yes.
gas for the car or insurance. Which is it going to be? Well, if I don't have gas, I can't go to work to earn
Exactly.
the money for the gas even.
so that was a good experience in a way that basically our life has been changed totally. I was invited to this one meeting that we're having. Two guys coming to do some information about the one product.
Well, so your life is changing, and when we come back, we will talk how it changed and what directions you've been taking.
There we
We'll
go.
be right back.
Nurses Life Express provides unique apparel for all the hardworking nurses that wear many hats. It is apparel that expresses nurses' amazing, humorous, and caring personalities. After all, nurses are as influential as their united goal to help others. Nursing's not easy, but somebody's got to do it. For more information, please call 562-270-4312 or visit their website at www.nurselife.com. www.nurselyfe.com. Nurseslife.com, where nurses' lives are expressed.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch.
Make your team look like pros with custom lineup cards. Whether you are a travel team, rec team, all-star team, or just some old guys playing slow pitch, we can make your team look a little better with some custom lineup cards. For the umpire, for the opponent, for the scorekeeper, for the dugout, no matter where your lineup card goes, you will look like a big league team with your team logo and name on top of your personalized lineup card. Just visit CustomLineupCards.com. With the best prices in town, you are sure to hit a home run with us. Visit CustomLineupCards.com and go pro.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
And we're back with Solutions for Life. I'm Dr. Gerald Coy, and we're talking with Mr. Vicente Servan, talking about nutrition, talking about men's health. As you can see up on the screen, there's a picture of what was you going through in your life. You know,
there you go.
Wheelbarrows of money going in for testing and all the things that it was, you were having to pay out to help your wife and the illnesses she was going through. But you also then mentioned that your life took a dramatic change in finding out there was solutions, which is what this program is all about, is that there are solutions in life, and it isn't necessarily medicine and drugs and doctors that are out there. How do I say it? Ripping you off, as simple as it is.
Yes.
I think the abuse in healthcare is horrendous. This is why I wrote the book, Solutions to the American Health Crisis, where I am very, very upset with the medical profession, the greed in the medical profession. And when you talk about the thousands and thousands of dollars you spent in expenses, I even put in this book, the book we have. And by the way, anybody that wishes to call in or contact us at the Rant Radio at 855-969-RANT. Come call us, and you can get a copy of the book. There's a donation of $30 to the Share Foundation in support of this programming. But the idea is that we have all sorts of illustrations in there, and one of them, it's the doctor. We're talking about the patient paying $10,000 in tests to find out that maybe it's good to go home and take an aspirin. And how really healthcare has gotten abusive and terrible. But your wife was ill. You are the man helping to take care of her, which is thank you for stepping up, because a lot of men are more apt to call the mother-in-law, says, your daughter is sick.
Get your daughter.
Yeah, take care of your daughter. But you're a husband, and you were concerned. You were faced with the debts, but also the concerns for your wife, that she wasn't healthy. And then you found that there was maybe some other solutions.
It's funny the way we find this solution, because the doctor sent my wife home.
I hope he didn't say there was nothing wrong, by the way.
They couldn't do anything until she started bleeding through the eyes, through the ears, and when you have a little bit of knowledge and regardless to health, that's not good.
No.
And I came back home, and I got a call from a lady whose name's Angelica. She's she works in the same church.
An angel, huh?
Yes, another angel, besides my wife. And she mentioned this natural product she was taking, and to be honest, I didn't trust it in the beginning.
You were being a man.
Exactly, because I'm like another herbs.
Yeah.
Another
product out there on the market.
Another one, and she provided this to me. She actually gave it to me, and I'm like,
oh, wow,
exactly. And when you don't know, you don't even care. Yeah. But when I analyze the contains on that product, I returned those envelopes to Angelica, and I told her, the only one I think is going to help my wife is this white capsule. And she's like, so what do you mean? I'm like, if you can get that, just that one.
Boy, you were being selective, weren't you?
Yes, because it was my wife.
Yeah.
And then,
The male protective mechanism, you know.
yes, it is. She came to me. She's like, guess what? It is available. So I bought a case, which comes on 12 bottles. And she started taking it. As a matter of fact, we had already planned a trip to Cancun. And to be honest with you, I thought that that was going to be the last trip together, my wife and I. And she started taking them. When we got to Cancun, she was able to climb the pyramids.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. And when I saw the results, I'm like,
This is after how much?
I
length of
think it
time?
was a week.
No, but I mean, she'd been sick for how long?
Wow. Years. I will say.
Years?
Yes, I will say probably like close to 10 years.
And in a week's time, she's doing things that she hadn't been doing for years?
Heels, climbing up the pyramids in Cancun.
Did she have to drag you up too?
Almost. Almost. She scared me. And she scared me because I didn't expect to see that effect that soon. And I'm going to tell you one thing, doctor. I think we have to, when you take drugs from doctors, you are putting in your body chemicals, toxins, and most people, they trust them because they're the doctors. And we have to watch out. Just the way I investigate about these capsules, and I select the one that I find out was going to help my wife. And we have to be more analyst on health. And drugs are just chemicals.
Yeah, and not be so accepting of whatever comes your way. You know, evaluate it. Look look and see. We have the computer nowadays.
Yes.
You go on, you Google the information, and then you start reading, and what you read is going to shock you. I know. In talking about being more aware and talking to doctors, in the book I had also put an illustration. One of my favorite illustrations of thought was that health is like holding a fishbowl, and the fish is called health. And you hand this fishbowl to the doctor, and the doctor drops it.
Yes.
And there's your health flipping and flopping around on the ground as he walks around saying, oops, you're left with the mistakes. If the doctor gives you drugs that causes bad side effects, you're the one that's experiencing the side effects. The doctor doesn't experience.
Nope.
You look at the commercials. The commercial says, you can take this for this result and everything else. And then they quietly say, it can also cause disease and death and da-da-da-da.
Like 20 or more secondary effects.
People who really listen to these commercials says, why would I ever take that drug? I got a call from someone who was asking about natural products and everything else, which we like to advise. And she was asking me about this drug. And as a chiropractor, I cannot advise to take or not to take drugs. That's the medical profession. But she did exactly what you were talking about. She got on, she read about the drug that he wanted to give her. After she finished reading, she says, why would I take this? But with natural products, was there any toxicity to it?
Zero secondary effects.
Zero.
Totally. That I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I read the information, and it's in the PDR.
Now you said this was one particular a tablet, a capsule that you kind of identified. What was its purpose? I know you're not allowed really to say what these are by rules and regulations. Yes. But what was its purpose?
The purpose was the whole purpose was to increase the immune system, because when you have a healthy immune system, doctor, basically the doctor within you is the immune system.
Yeah.
And
I love that description, the doctor within you.
Yes, because that's what takes care of throwing away if you can call it that way, throwing away all the infections or attacks to your body, generally. And when you increase your immune system, you're basically getting your inner doctor stronger in knowledge to destroy all the attacks that are coming to your body.
So this is what you learned about from your friend who brought you some product and everything else. And all of a sudden, here's your wife climbing the pyramids.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. Oh, what am I going to do?
You got to see those pictures.
So that led you to becoming involved then?
Well, when I was invited to that meeting, they were exposing this information about not only healthy issues, but some kind of business. And it's funny, but the same day I got involved.
Well, when you find a solution in life, to me, when you can combine a healthy solution, for your body and tie it to perhaps you saw maybe a solution in your personal life as far as what you wanted to do in life.
Life provides you with opportunities, doctor, and this one opportunity that we got is like a second chance of life for my wife. That was one thing. The other thing that I was already looking for something because
you were tired, huh?
I was
working. How much were you working?
Oh my God!
Before you got involved in nutrition,
I was working. I had my business for 22 years, working from Monday to Saturdays, and the only day off was Sunday.
Oh, you got a Sunday off, huh?
In a way.
In a way.
Because I had to be.
Did you go home and do paperwork on Sundays too?
Stacks of paper.
So you had the day off. You just had to do paperwork.
I just had to do quite a few hours more of work. Home.
How many hours a week would you say you put into having your own business? And in those days, in that kind of business, anyway.
When I start doing this business, I start doing 2 to 3 hours on Sundays. Part-time.
No, I'm talking about your old business.
Oh my
how many hours a week would you say you were?
I would say 80
hours a week.
80 to 90 hours.
Hey folks, all of you who have your own businesses, you're relating, aren't you? You're shaking your head up and down, aren't you? Yes, having your own business is not a 40-hour a week job. It is an 80-hour a week job.
No, because the workers, they will do their 8 hours, they leave home, and their job is done. And
this is the responsibility of the man. The man has to provide.
Yes.
And therefore you have to work this job, a next job, and some of the people work 2 and 3 jobs, don't you?
But after they leave, you have to take care of business.
Yeah. So all of a sudden there was something that looked like an opportunity, and as soon as we come back, we're going to talk about how Vicente Cervin changed his life.
Okay.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
The
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
Building a custom home or business is a huge deal. For some, it's the largest project they'll take on in a lifetime. Choosing your team may be the most important part of ensuring a successful building project. Starting a project by working closely with Core Design will create what's just right for your lifestyle and your property. But selecting the right builder is perhaps the most important part of creating the team. At Core Design's customer service, quality craftsmanship, and integrity are the keys to our company philosophy. Your custom construction dreams are just a phone call away. Core Design at 213-453-1609. Once again, that number is 213-453-1609.
Number one. Number one.
Is that a stutter or as high as you can count?
I was ordering number one tequila.
Everybody's asking for number one.
Great, another fancy bottle.
These guys are true artists. Never compromise integrity. They make tequila
Come
the
on.
old-fashioned way. Never mass-produced.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying have the number one. Anything less is number two.
Number one.
Number one, tequila.
We are the Three Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 Three Guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
Welcome back, and this is a session of Solutions for Life, and with me is Vicente Servan. We're talking about opportunities, and we kind of got interrupted there, but I want to get back to that right away, because as a male issue, providing for the family and everything else, and also for all those males out there that are working jobs that they're tired of, working 2 and 3 jobs, you found it an opportunity to be involved in something that had helped your wife or saved your wife's life type thing, and making life better for you.
It is actually. I find the opportunity not only to save my wife's life, but also to save my own life, because I was basically losing my health through the stress hours.
The old saying of working yourself to death.
Yes, and I picture myself. I think my wife's health issue woke up something within me, and alert me to start thinking about myself.
You got to take care of yourself to take care of your family.
Exactly.
Don't you?
So when I notice I can help other people to find the solution for their health problems, and in the process to get my health in the right direction, because I was getting in the very wrong direction. My health got better.
Is that what they call the rat race?
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that one.
And it's been 2.5 beautiful years.
Isn't it nice to do something you love?
Oh my goodness! It's
sleep better, don't you?
I sleep tight, unless Dr. Coy woke me up early in the morning
and force you to come
and
all
force
the way
me to come all the way
to Whittier here.
Yes, but it's a pleasure always to be. I mean, I call you my brother because I really feel you like that.
Well, this is something that's transformed your life and making it a lot better, and you're sharing it with the listening audience and everything else. And I want them to know that they can contact you, and find out more about how you transformed your life in health and financially, and an opportunity. There's an opportunity that I think that could open up a lot of improvements in a lot of lives, and
Yes.
whether it be men or women out there, like women, you can start because they're usually the one that encourage the men. How do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can call me.
And your number is?
And my number is 626-864-4117.
All right, do that one more time for me, slowly.
It's 626-864-4117.
And if you missed that or you didn't have your pencil out and everything else, we'll repeat it again in a few minutes so you can contact Vicente and make sure you find out the whole story and what he was taking, how these has helped him, and how he's transformed his life. But we don't have a lot of time, and there's a little bit of an issue that I wanted to discuss, and for the men and for the women to know, and it's something that men don't usually like to talk about. And that is a subject of male performance. I remember watching television in the old days, and there were commercials for women's bras. Now there's everything sportswear, so they got away from it. But they banned it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was for women's issues and the pads and the this and the washes and the things that. I don't know about you, but it kind of like made me uncomfortable. It's kind of like these were private issues.
Exactly.
And yet I remember when Senator Dole, I don't know if anybody remembers who Senator Dole was, but he was the head of the Senate at one time and ran for president. And I remember when he came on television, I think he was advertising a drug for ED.
Mm-hmm.
No one wanted to talk about what ED was. I won't even mention it. It makes me embarrassed. But yet, but that's how we've been trained. Women have gone to male doctors all these years, but men don't discuss these issues. It's private. They probably wouldn't even discuss it after 3 or 4 beers at the bar. It's I'm a man, whatever it is,
because it has a seal, top secret.
And yet, in your opening and these private conversations with men, I know I have, as a doctor, that's a little bit more so, perhaps, but with you and talking to men about health issues and everything else, I bet this has come up, hasn't it?
Yes, it does. And it's challenging because you have to be very tactical when you approach a man to talk to them about their...
You don't announce it in the room, then?
No. I don't even say it in the microphone.
Yes.
Because I get in trouble.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, we're talking about men's health, and I didn't want to leave the program without going over some of the specifics. We talked about injuries, we talked about things that how we hurt ourselves, or the heavy work that we've many times forced to do for years and years and years that tears our body apart. But you have products that are on the market now that can help with these issues. If you're young and athletic, I believe there's products that can help the athletic. Not only that, but also the people who've worked themselves almost to death to help them, correct?
Yes, from the person that does cyclists, as you know, my son goes in the bicycle all the way to San Francisco, which is very extreme for me.
Yeah, that's a long ways
to do it. But he mentioned, because he's starting to be a doctor, a pediatrician, like, you know that anybody who rides a bicycle as a man, their prostate can get damaged. And I'm like, oh, really?
Well, from the size of those little seats, you better believe it.
But most people don't thought about.
Give me those bigger padded seats.
Yes, and that's the one thing we have to take care of. I mean,
So there are things that you can take for prostate health.
Yes, you don't have to be sick to treat.
No, well, isn't this mainly a matter of prevention?
Prevention. That's
oh
the
my
big
goodness,
secret.
the big secret of
That's
life.
the big secret.
But you have products that help in male performance, I believe.
Yes.
That support the prostate.
You know, we used to say it as a joke in Puerto Rico. They used to mention it as a joke, saying, this and this together, we call it marriage saver. Because sometimes you have to put it that way so guys can actually react and do something about it.
Well, I have a feeling that most of our audience out there are probably women, And I'm hoping that in spite of us being men here talking about male issues, that they will share this information with their husbands and call you, because this is also an opportunity, as we talked, to save their marriage perhaps, but also for them to bring into their lives something that they can do themselves or their husbands or as a unit. I believe you and your wife are kind of, this is kind of like a marriage of business, isn't it?
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, my wife is my co-business, because she's doing this business as well, and she has the same position that I have, which is challenging for me. But
you're not competitive with your wife, are you?
Actually, she's the one competing with.
Because I know she's listening right now, so
Yes.
she's probably out there gathering up some more business to beat you, isn't she?
Yes, she's always behind me. She's challenging me the whole time.
So what you have are really things that can, again, today's program is about men's health, that can really are designed to help men, whether it be their physical bodies and from the injuries and traumas to performance of the body and support of the prostate. Are there other areas that you feel that men should be paying attention to, listening to?
I think we have a big problem with diabetic people, and that's one of the issues that I have confront the most. And from the male perspective, we just mention diabetes, but we don't mention
it's hard enough to get a man to change his diet, which is important.
Yes.
Let alone, so you have products that can help support in this manner?
Yes.
That's fantastic. And I believe some of the literature I've read of yours, that everything else, you have support for cardiovascular, which is a big thing for men. And my grandfather, who died of senility before there was Alzheimer's,
Yes.
You have products that support the brain. So you have all these different fantastic products that support the body for better health, men or women.
Or kids.
Mm-hmm. So whether you be young or whether you be old, are you taking better care of yourself?
We have to remember that if we start with the kids, those kids are not going to have the problems that we have. That's what we...
Sounds like a true father and grandfather.
There you go.
Yeah, so we've got to be out there and we've got to be helping, you can be helping others at the same time you're helping yourself.
Exactly.
And
in the last 2 years and a half, we have helped hundreds of people, not only in this country, but different countries.
So this is an international activity.
It is. So far, we have reports on...
Is that why I'm getting a slight hint of an accent there?
Yes. Yes, because I deal with people in India. I deal with people in Latin America, and I deal with people everywhere.
Oh, have you traveled with that too?
I love traveling, and I do.
And this is an opportunity to even do more of it, I understand.
And live.
And so you can travel, live longer, so you can travel longer. That's great. So this is a fantastic opportunity you're bringing to other people. I'd like you to again repeat how they can get in touch with you.
Well, you can call me 24/7 at 626-864-4117.
It's all on the screen, but I would like you to repeat it again, please.
Of course, doctor. It's 626-864-4117.
Notice how he does what the doctor tells him to do. And this doctor is telling you to be sure and call Vicente and learn his story and learn how you can help your health, your family's health, and also, gain some prosperity from a tremendous opportunity. I want to thank you for being here and sharing this information. There's so many people out there. Every day I see people who need help one way or another, financial help, and there's a tremendous opportunity for those looking for a financial opportunity to benefit themselves, but tied in with helping others, because if you're just doing it to help yourself, I don't think that is something that is so rewarding.
In the beginning, doctor, I'm going to interrupt you right there. In the beginning, what motivated me to start doing this business is after the commercial.
I believe that is the end of the program, isn't it? Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell it.
I experienced and I got motivated by by doing the business because in the over purchase of these products, I receive a reimbursement from the company, and I noticed the big opportunity that I had.
Isn't it nice to get income from some sources after you do something right, and you don't have to work so hard? That's wonderful. Please call Vicente. Call us at the Share Foundation. We're at area code 562-776-1727. We will share you Vicente's phone number if you haven't got it. But we want you to be healthier. We're here to share information about nutrition, about alternative health care, anything but drugs and surgery unless absolutely necessary. So eat right, exercise, reduce your stress, and be healthy. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Doctor.